Onward is a story of two elf brothers who go on a fantasy quest in a modern fantasy world, and they have an opportunity, thanks to magic, to spend one day with their father that they lost. It's an adventure. It's comic. It's got moments of terror and fun, but it's also a very personal, emotional film.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We know that this story is really personal, that you kind of set a personal story in it. How did you become aware that you had to set it in this kind of world where you bring the fantastic world to a modern world? How do you say we have to do it this way? And in a second question, what's up with Barley's hand? Is it broken, and how did it break?
So, the first question being, why set it in a magical world? Again, as most of you know, very personal story. My father passed away when I was young. My brother and I don't remember him. We always wondered who he was and how we were like him. The reason to set it in a magical world was I wanted to know what it would be like if I could have one day with my father and what I'd do. That really had to be either a crazy machine that brings people back to life, which, by the way, was something we thought about for a while. But then we thought magic was much more romantic and much more poetic. And we thought about setting it in a magical world that took place long ago, like a lot of them do. And that felt like it got too far away from the personal story, which was a very modern one. And so that's why we combined the two worlds. What I like about it is it instantly makes for humor, just the ridiculousness of all these wonderful fantasy creatures now living in our world. But again, the real reason to set this story there was magic, was so that you could be with your father for one day. And then Barley's arm, you were asking, why is Barley's arm broken? I just love that question exists, because who knows? Meaning, he's that guy who has a broken arm for no reason. You know that at 19, if he's got a broken arm and he doesn't play sports, he's done something bad. He's gotten into trouble. He's hurt himself in some ridiculous way. And we really just thought it spoke to his character. He is chaotic. He doesn't think things through. He tries things first and then reads the directions.
Pixar always has new technologies for new movies. There's always a new aspect. Which one for Onward?
I think that it's a good question, because I don't even know if I know. They're just getting slowly more. It feels like the films are just getting richer, and the process of making the films is getting more sophisticated. I don't know if there's one specific thing to point to, other than Dad's upper half, that weird like stuffed body that he had, is really difficult to do in CG, and our team worked really hard to make that upper half seem believable, but also from an animation point of view have emotion. if a wobbly upper half can have emotion.
I was really immersed in the movie, so I really forgot to search for Easter eggs. The only one I got was the one from Lord of the Rings, the one like the breakfast. But what can you tell us about other Easter eggs?
I didn't know a lot about fantasy going into the film, and I learned a little as I went. But I have great fantasy fans working on the movie. Our whole team, lots of them were into it, and so we created our own group. Our head of story, Kelsey Mann, created a group called the Fellowship, and it was just anyone who was really into fantasy, and they would look at the movie and go, "Oh, here we could put on the sign outside of the restaurant, now serving second breakfast," or whatever. Mm-hmm. Half of the jokes I didn't even get, and I would just say, "I trust you. I trust that people will get these." But it was a way to involve everyone in it, and it was a way to make it more specific and unique for fans.
Did you left anything out that you wanted to include in the movie?
In general? No, I mean, I'm so lucky to work at this place. Everyone really works hard to get the movie everything it needs. I'm incredibly proud and happy with the movie. If anything, there's more than I could have imagined in it. No, I mean, there's really just it's really the movie I wish I would have thought to make. Meaning the movie I thought to make was probably much less sophisticated, but it was risen up by all the Pixar filmmakers.
Why does Pixar likes to make us cry so much?
I don't know. I think that we like to make stuff that makes people laugh and is really funny and is hopefully character rich. And I think hopefully when you have those things, once a character has made you laugh, boy, if anything happens to that character emotionally, you're probably more likely to cry even more because you love them and they've made you laugh. And I believe that's where that's coming from. But also I think we all spend 6 years making movies, and so we want to make movies that matter to us and that we think are hopefully talking about something important. And so those are probably kind of emotional things.